Good morning, dear Stitchers. It's Judy with JBW Design, and I want to welcome you back to my FlossTube channel. The date today is Tuesday, November 19th, and it is FlossTube number 85. I always have to think about that. So just as always, if you're new to this channel, of course, it's about cross stitch. I am so appreciative of all of the people who take the time to watch, to subscribe, to write emails and comments and send letters. I just love hearing from all of you, and it kind of is just a wonderful way to connect with other people who love to stitch. So I have a lot to tell you. It's been 3.5 weeks since I recorded, and I'm not sure what's happened to my 2-week schedule. It seems to have gone out the window. But let me tell you a little bit about what's been going on the last few weeks, and then as always, I have a lot to share with you. So first of all, I taught a class at a shop that is about a half an hour from here, called Stitching Bits and Bobs, and it was a finishing class, and we had a great time. I heard from the shop owner later that the favorite part of the class was when I got everybody up using the Cardinal cording tool to learn how to make twisted cording. So that was a big hit, I guess. So I want to show you which I think turned out so cute. So I brought many models in a trunk show to the class, but this is one of the key things that took place in the class. And so I'm going to give you a resource for this and then tell you a little bit more about it, so in case you want to reproduce it. So first of all, Bobbie has started making these beautiful acrylic designs to use for ornaments and finishing. And so before I started my video today, I wrote to her to make sure that if that's something that you're interested in purchasing, that she will have some available for you. And she has other styles also, but I just thought this was so sweet. So I will link her shop and phone number in the notes below. And then the design that I used is one of my ornaments that comes from the Ornament collection books 1 through 5. I'll have to look to see which booklet that one is in, but I thought you'd be interested in seeing that. And I'm going to show you, I have files everywhere, some more ornaments to inspire you a little bit later. And then, of course, we had family gatherings as we usually do. I'm really busy working on charting and stitching new models for the next show. And then I also had multiple trunk shows this last month. Usually I only schedule 2 a month, but this month I had one for Stitching Bits and Bobs. I had one for the retreat out in Utah. I had another one that went to a retreat called Riverview Stitching, which is in Michigan. And then I just packed a 4th trunk show for a shop in Williamsburg. And I am going to feature that shop, which is called Liberty Hill, as my shop of the week, because they have quite a large trunk show there. And if there's any possibility that you are going to be in Williamsburg over the holidays, I'd encourage you to stop in and see Susan's shop. So I'm sure it's beautiful. There used to be a fabulous shop in Williamsburg called Hoss to Roll, and sadly they lost their lease, and then they couldn't find another place to rent, and they ended up closing. So when I heard that Susan was opening her shop a couple years ago, I was so excited, because Williamsburg is such a destination for so many travelers. So let's see, the first thing I'm going to start out with today, I think I'll show you some finishes that came in, and then I'll go on to my next topic. So this turned out so cute. So believe it or not, I found this pillow. It was actually, I'm trying to think of what website it was on. It's a French gift website. I'll have to think about that. Most of their things are too costly for me to afford. But one day I was looking through and she had this towel and it had, what are the chances? My initials stitched on the towel. So of course I had to buy it. And I had it here for a long time. I knew I wanted to have it made into a pillow, but like many things that we have it in our possession, it takes us a while to get around to the finishing part. So my friend Karen finished it for me. She did a gorgeous job. And what I love is this entre-deux was actually part of the towel. And she said, what about putting ribbon through that? And I just think it's stunning. And then she added white cording for the edges. So thank you, Karen. Your finish is just perfect. Just what I was picturing. Now the next finish I'm going to show you is quite large. Let's see, I'm going to have to back up and see if I can balance it here in my little desk chair. So I worked on this project for probably 3 years. This is not my design, obviously. Let me see if I can hold it up and show you I'm going to have to lean, the complete piece. This is a GGR design, and she has a series that is called, I believe, La Letters. I'm not pronouncing it correctly. Of course, it's in French. The letters are, all of the alphabet letters are not available. And I'm going to just kind of balance this here for a moment while I tell you about it. So I absolutely loved working on it. I thought all of the antiques, the motifs, the antique motifs were fascinating. It truly was fun. Now, I don't have a lot of time between doing my own models to do stitching for myself, so this was such a treat. I would, every once in a while, when I thought I had a little break, I would work on it, and that's why it took me so long. And then I just got it framed. And so that was the other thing. It sat here in my office for months, and then finally, I'm going to write myself a note while I'm thinking of this. It's hard to write and balance at the same time, but I want to make sure I give you the name of the framing company in my notes below. So it was framed by Lisa at L&M Framing in Ohio, and she did just a fabulous job. I did not want glass on it, but she did pat it for me. So isn't that beautiful? So I'm very proud to have that in my office with my other red samplers. Excuse me here. And I had to rearrange. It actually goes on a wall that's behind my computer here, and I rearranged that whole wall, and it just looks really great. So now to move on to the next topic. So I always get notifications when someone has hashtagged my company name, JBW Designs, and shown me something that they're working on. And just in the last 2 days, I got 2 beautiful projects. So I thought I'd show those to you and show you what the design is from. This was from someone on Instagram, and her Instagram handle is FER Sews. And she sent me, she wrote and said she had just finished Flights of Fancy. And she just did a fabulous job. This is a pattern that came out last March. And I'll show you what that pattern looks like. Sorry for the glare here. But this was taken from an antique sampler that I bought that I believe is Italian. And it was such a fun design. And there, I might have another picture in my pictures today to show you of an adaptation of that design. And then just this morning, I got a notification, and this is so exciting because I'm sure the person doesn't watch my floss tubes, so pronouncing her floss tube handle is, not her floss tube, her Instagram handle is going to be difficult because it was all in Spanish. So it was E. Ciudadela Vanda. I know I really did that terribly, so I apologize to you, sweetie. But she is working on the When Cardinals Appear. And I just loved seeing that. I love seeing people, the colors they've chosen and how beautiful it's coming along. And When Cardinals Appear also is another design that came out in March. And it's, of course, it's done very well because it means a lot to people. It says, when cardinals appear, loved ones are near. So that was another fun one to see. And then I have, as I said, a whole pile of other wonderful finishes that people have sent in. So I love this because I like to inspire you. So when I show these finishes and give you ideas, this might be just what you need to take the next step with something that you stitched. So the first thing I'm going to show you, and again, these are from my ornament books, which I'll share with you a little bit later. This is by Kathy B. And I don't know if you can tell from the picture, if I tilt it a little, and I'll show you another picture, she mounted these on little glass jars. Actually, they're not little. I think they're about maybe 4 or 5 inches tall. And let me show you what she sent me, because I asked her about where they came from. She found them at Michael's. They have a nice little wooden lid on the top. And so what she did is she took her the little ornaments she'd stitched and just mounted them on the inside of that lid and put a little bit of twisted cording around the edges, and then she put a charm at the top of each one. So I loved that idea. Actually, one of the things I want to talk to you about today is the fact that November and December are so hectic. And I know you don't have a lot of time to be making gifts right now, but I thought if I could give you some gift ideas that were small and doable, that might appeal to those of you who might feel a little rushed. So here's another picture that came in recently, and this was done by Debbie Kennedy. And this is a kit actually called Lena's Pinky Pillow, and she stitched it on a 28 count Graziano linen. And instead of using the velveteen that was in the kit, she used a wool. And I thought that was very effective. I thought her finish was right on. So thank you. Let's see, that was from Debbie for that. And then I had another picture from Mary Jean. She too had taken some of the small ornaments and finished them with little fabric borders. And we had quite a few Christmas, of course, designs come in this last month or so. These 3 are from, let me get my picture straight here. All right, okay, there are 3 of them. So these are from Maria. And this is so cute because she stitched several of my stockings, and I'll show you that book in a minute that came out in a fairly new booklet. So this is Frosty the Snowman, and then she photographed the fabric that she used on the back for finishing, and I just thought that was perfect. She's got a darling little Frosty, and then she put her initials and the date in there. And then she also did Over the River, and on the, let's see, it's on my left is the backing fabric she used for that design. And then she also did Here Comes Santa Claus with a really beautiful backing on the back of that one. So let's see, it's always a question, where do I pile everything here? So those designs came out of a fairly recent publication. This came out in August, and most of you have probably seen it, but maybe I have some new viewers who haven't had a chance. This is a collection of stockings that I have done over many years. And there are 15 stockings in this booklet. And on the back of the booklet, it shows all 15. And they're all based on either hymns, Christmas hymns, or Christmas songs. And on each page, I'm going to bend it back here, is a full-sized photo of what the design looks like, and then the chart is on the facing page. Of course, I can't turn that to you. And I also do carry a kit of all the charms that go with all 15 of these designs. So talk to your local shop owner to find out about getting the book or getting the package of charms that goes with it. So I'm going to show you more stockings a little later, and I'm going to give you a real quick lesson on finishing a shape like this. So I'm going to set that over here, and let's see, this is perfect. So the next thing that I want to show you is, this is from Jo H, and she stitched my Christmas in the Round, and she used this stand from Hobby Lobby. Now this red one I have not seen recently, and I'm going to show you what this model looks like. And I did get from one of my friends, again, I have to write notes so I don't forget to put things that I promised to put in the notes below. So let's see, do I have this booklet out here? I have quite a pile of things. I don't know if I brought that out. Oh, yes I did. Just keep looking. Here we go. Okay, so Christmas in the Round, this is what the booklet looks like. And I've seen it in red, I've seen it obviously in green, I've seen it in combinations of those two colors, but this is what the model looks like. And I have not seen these wooden joy signs at my Hobby Lobby recently, but my friend found the SKU number for it. So I'm going to include that so that if you want to go and look for it. So that was fun to see the finish that Jo did of that design. So, all right, now I'm going to start throwing things on the floor. I don't have enough room nearby. All right, so this is another one that came in, and this is, did I pull it right? Yes. So this is from my friend Karen, and she finished it using a little, almost like a cutting board, and this is Fall in the Round. So we're a little late for that, but who knows, you might want it in your collection. The round designs are always filled with little motifs that go with the season. And she used a variegated floss. I thought that I love the variegation in that too. I think that really set off the design. And then I also received, this was very sweet. This was from Linda. And she had made the Kitties in the Round for her daughter, and she'd stitched it all in black because her daughter had just lost a black cat who was 16 years old, and she's giving it to her as a Christmas present. So I thought, what a sweet idea. And this is what Kitties in the Round looks like. And she just finished it in a little round wooden hoop. Very, very sweet. And then let's see, and then this was so nice. So this is also from Karen, and I mentioned in my video last time, oops, oh dear, sorry, something went awry. I hope I'm still on. I'm so untech savvy, it's scary, isn't it? So Karen said that, I had mentioned in my last video, let me backtrack, that there was a gal who I learned about from Holly, Hobbies of Holly, that lost her home in a fire. And it was just like a month ago, 6 weeks ago, and she was at a retreat when it happened. I can't imagine. And so people were making ornaments for her to send so that she would have something for her Christmas tree this year. And I'm hoping that this just warms her heart. So Karen did something very interesting. She inherited some of my designs from an elderly woman who had passed away, and she decided that she would make those and finish them, and she's sending these to Jenny. So if you need an address of where to send a gift like that, I would go to hobbiesofholly@aol.com. So I think that is all. Oh, I know. All right, I'll show these. No, I'll show these when I show the ornaments. So let's move on to my next topic here. So I have a theme, of course, for the day. And I'm going to first show you something I found when I was shopping a couple weeks ago. So my daughter and I were at World Market a couple weeks ago. We were working on our stocking gifts for our families, and I found this package of ribbon that I just love. It has Joy to the World at the top of it, and then a simple red stripe, and then candy canes. And I haven't opened it yet, but I thought, what a perfect ribbon it would be to attach to our finishing. So if you have that store nearby and happen to have time, I thought that would be a fun purchase for you. So my theme of the day is gift suggestions. And I thought I would start with some kits that I have on hand. Now, I did this last time in my last video, and it turned out to be quite successful. So I thought, okay, I went into my closet with kits that are left over from probably many years, and I thought, all right, my website incidentally is not working. That's because it's under construction. So I used to be able to post things, older patterns and things on my website for you to purchase, but that is not available at the moment. So if I show anything that interests you today, I'm going to ask you to email me. DMs don't work very well. Instagram doesn't work very well for messaging. Really, my email is the best way to reach me. It's the most reliable. I look at it all day long. So email me, judy@jbwdesigns.com, and I can tell you the price of the item that you might be interested in, and then we can just decide if that's something that you wish to purchase. So this is the kit that I mentioned earlier, the Lena's Pin Keep kit. And this is something that you might want to buy for yourself or a friend. And I think I've shown this before. Actually the design was from an antique sampler that I owned. And on the back, you can see all the contents in the kit. So there's fabric, there's velvet, there is ribbon trim from the velvet, the rickrack trim, and the silk ribbon are from Lady Dot Creates, and then there's a backing fabric and complete instructions on how to assemble the pillow. So if that's something that might strike your fancy, I just heard somebody at the door. I'm not going to answer it. I'm too far away. Sorry about that. Oh, the poor person. So the next thing I want to show you is I have 4 of these. And I used to be able to order these from a company in France. And they were the neatest little bags. They used to come in several sizes. And what you can do with this is you can stitch a set of initials across this flap of the bag. And I think it's about a 28, maybe a 32 count fabric. It's hard to tell. So if that's something that you'd be interested in making a gift for, I'll encourage you to write to me about that. I also have a kit called Ode to Red, and you know what, the model for this is in a trunk show. So it was actually finished as a stand-up, and the kit includes the fabric, the floss for doing the trim, all of the ribbons, and complete finishing instructions. So this is pretty well packaged, so I can't turn it to the back and show you what's inside. But so it has the Moda fabric, the DMC floss, a 32 count Belfast linen, 2 ribbons, straight pin, the booklet, and actually it has the comic board for finishing also. So that's Ode to Red. That's something that you'd like. I have another few left of an older kit that came out, gosh, 4 years ago, and it was called the ABC Hornbook Kit. And it comes actually with a wooden horn book, and this design also was taken from an antique sampler. And I think I only have 4 of these left. So if that's something that you'd like, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I can tell you what's in the kit. There's a 32 count Belfast linen in flax, the wooden horn book, the skein of floss for stitching and for the cording. There's a piece of comic board for the mounting, the ribbon, the chart, and the finishing instructions. So that's another little idea for you. And then I found two other kits that I haven't actually, sorry, things are falling right and left. Okay, I have to stand up to reach this. So this is kind of a unique idea, but something you might be interested in. So I have a design, and I'm going to show you the model first. So this is called Nordic Needle. This is worked on a 32 count navy blue over 1, so that might not be your cup of tea. This is what the booklet looks like. I also worked the design, let's see if I can show you. Yeah. So I also worked it over 2 in a navy blue. I always like the look of that. But what I did is I made up a finishing kit to finish, let's see, let's turn it this way, to finish this pillow. So the finishing kit includes the polka dot fabric, all the trims, the buttons, and a complete layout of how you would do the finishing. So it would tell you exactly the steps to take to to assemble this. So that's one finishing kit that I have. And then I have a second kit. I think I have a couple of the Nordic needle. And then I have another one. Let me show you this. Let me do this in steps. So this is Dashing Through the Snow. It is worked on a 32 count, no, it's worked on a 28 count linen over 1, the red. That is from Wichelt in white, and the book is called Dashing Through the Snow. It actually has many variations. I worked it in blue. Let's see, I think yes, and then on the cover, of course, I worked it on the polka dot fabric in red. But I made up a finishing kit to go with this pillow. And so that finishing kit, again, looks like this. And it has the fabric for the backing and for, of course, the front and all the little ribbons and trims that I used with that pillow. So I thought that might be something that some of you might be interested in getting as either a gift for yourself or to finish something for this Christmas. So let's see. The next thing I want to show you as a gift idea is a box that I've shown you in the past, but it's been a while. And these stitching boxes, I know so many people are doing them, are so much fun to assemble. Now, I ordered this box on Amazon. It's from a company called Ladici, and I will list that below. And I decided that rather than just decorating the inside of the box, there is a lot in here, so I'm just going to lift it carefully. So I did pockets, and I just really pretty much tore out the whole inside of the box. But I decided that I wanted to put something on the top of the box. So I'm going to show you this. I chose my initials from a booklet that I published in March called Renee's French Alphabet. And so I just stitched that, and then I mounted it on comic board with batting underneath. I just glued on some little buttons to the front, and then I mounted that on a second piece of fabric and used rickrack behind that. And then I added cording to the edges, and I just used a tacky glue to glue it on, and it worked out really well. So they make smaller boxes, and I thought that might be a gift idea for some of you who have stitching friends and wanted to make up, they make like a little 4-inch box. That would be so cute to make as a gift for one of your stitching friends. Okay, time for a little sip of tea. So now, where am I going here? Good question. So I talked about the stockings before, And quite a few of the stockings that were in this booklet are actually out at trunk shows. But I have several that are still here. So I thought I would show you what these look like, and I'm going to give you a very quick, simple lesson on how to finish a shape like this. So the main thing is to know is that after you have stitched your piece, if you take your stitch design over to your printer face down and make a copy of what you have stitched, then that can become a template for the shape that you need to cut to make a stocking. A lot of people don't know how to tackle a shape, and it's so easy. Once you can make a paper template for yourself, then you can use that to cut out your backing fabric, to cut around your stitched piece, to cut your board that goes on the inside. Now all of these were finished with comic board and just a little felt as a batting. So this is Over the River. I'll just show you some of the designs that are in that booklet. This is I Saw Three Ships. And again, my finisher just did a beautiful job of choosing fabrics to coordinate. This is The Drummer Boy. I had to think for a minute. That's one of my favorites. This is called I'll Be Home for Christmas. As I say, these are all in that booklet that I showed you. Here is the Here Comes Santa Claus design. Here is Sleigh Bells Ring. Here is We Three Kings. And these were worked on a variety of fabrics. Most of them were on 32. They were all on 32 count, but I chose some off-white, some ecru. Just depends on what appeals to you. And this is Oh Christmas Tree. So I thought you'd get a kick out of seeing those. Actually, they don't take long to stitch. So you could choose an easier one. I'm thinking like the Three Ships. I don't think that would take too long to stitch, and hopefully that's something that would appeal to you as a gift this Christmas. So I have one more set of things to show you. All right, I'm going to move these over here so they're close by, and move things out of the way. So the designs that I'm pulling right now to share with you are from my booklets, and as I've mentioned before, there are 5 of these, and they're called Ornament Collection. Obviously just numbered, actually they're Roman numeral numbers, that's hard to say. So each booklet has 20 Christmas designs in it. Now, they're pictured stitched over 1 on a 28 count. Please know that you can easily stitch them on Aida. You can stitch them on a 28 over 2. Just choose the size fabric that you love working on. And even though these are little, the models I'm going to show you are very tiny, if you stitch them on a 28, they're not that much larger, and they still make a perfect size for an ornament. So that's booklet number 1. I'm going to kind of look through these. I'm going to try to figure out where that Cardinal one design that I showed you earlier. So this is Ornament Collection number 2. And there's quite a variety in there of trees and wreaths and stockings, and there's an ice skate in that, a mitten. All right, here is booklet number 3. And I don't see it in this one. So this has, you can see there's a snowman and a sweater and a pair of ice skates and a little dollar horse or rocking horse. Incidentally, these are the perfect things to stitch if you are short of time. You can usually stitch these in 1 or 2 nights. And so that to me is the key to getting your gifts done is choosing something that's small, that's doable, that you know you can get done. So let's see if I'm looking for the Cardinals. So this is Christmas Ornament Book 4, and this has a stocking, a dove, another snowman, a heart, a little Santa, a church, quite a variety. I tried to make them each one as interesting as possible, and there are no repeats. And so this is booklet number 5, and why do I still haven't spotted the one with the Cardinals in it. I might have to put that in the notes below and search more thoroughly. So again, this has a variety of shapes and designs in this one. So I hope that inspires you. I know your time is short to think about your doing a few quick gifts before the holidays. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is my shop of the week. And this was, as I mentioned before, Liberty Hill Needleworks. My tongue is getting tongue-tied. It's 4854 Longhill Road, Suite 8. As I mentioned, it's in Williamsburg. Her email is susan@libertyhillneedleworks.com, and there is her phone number. And it's a wonderful shop. I hope you'll at least call her or write to her if you're looking for anything. I will put all of her information in the notes below. And now I like to give a few prizes. My prizes for this week are, if you hear your name announced, you can just tell me any of the things that I've shown you today that you'd be interested in, even the kits, and pick out one for yourself, and I will send it to you. So my 3 prize winners are Chris, CHRISR 4812, and my second one is Cindy, spelled CYNDI Thompson, and my third one is Judith, and it's KOIS 18. So ladies, if you hear your name announced, just write to me, email me, and I will send out a gift to you. So this has gone on a little long today, but I'll try to wrap it up here. The next week for us, and I'm sure for you too, is going to be quite busy. Our church is having a bazaar on Saturday, and both my husband and I are volunteering there for a good portion of the day. It's a great bazaar. It's a fine arts bazaar, and they have jewelry and soap and all kinds of paintings and cards and chocolate, and it's just a great bazaar. So that's always fun, not only to attend but also to be a part of. And then next Monday, my daughter and I are going shopping. We try to do that once a year. Sometimes finding a day is hard. And then later next week, actually Wednesday morning, she and our grandson Liam, my grandson Liam, her son, are going out shopping for a family. And each year we adopt a family from Family and Children's Services here in Kalamazoo. And we've probably done this, 15 or 20 years. There are so many families who do not have much. And so the families register if they need help. They make a list of all the things that they might need. And believe me, oh dear, I did it again. The things they need are the most basic. I mean, they need silverware and towels and sheets. And we try to buy clothing and toys, of course, for the children. So we do that together. And then the neat thing is, the day that Saturday after Thanksgiving, we put our tree up. I came up with this idea last year, and it worked like a charm. I put all of the gifts that had been purchased down on tables in the basement, and I had everybody in the family come down and help wrap the gifts. And we had a lot of laughs, and it was done in a short amount of time. So that's one of our other tasks this next week. And then we have company coming from Pennsylvania for one night. So it's going to be busy, and I'm sure your Thanksgiving is equally so. So I have a quotation today, and it is, "There are so many ways to create a bouquet of kindness." And I feel that about all of you. You're just such kind souls, and I'm so, so grateful for you. And I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I know for some families it's a hard day, especially if you don't have anyone nearby. So I hope to be back in a few weeks. Keep your fingers crossed, and thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.